So, folks, there is a channel called Valuetainment. It's a Patrick Bet David show, and it is really weird. It's just really weird, and I don't say that lightly because I've seen a lot of weird stuff on the internet. I've been around for a bit, but they uploaded a video to their YouTube channel, not their podcast channel, mind you, their Valuetainment main channel, and it's really weird. It's titled "Investor Makes Entrepreneur Take a Lie Detector Test for $10 million," and I mean, like, this is the opening shot, and I let's just jump into it, okay? Yeah, it's Patrick Bet David on the left, and the angry guy from the Patrick Bet David show. I think his name is Vinny. Hooked up to a lie detector test. Except I don't think this is. No, this is just like bullshit wires, right? Like, this isn't an actual lie detector. Whatever.
Have we started yet?
Have you ever done a lie detector test before?
No.
Okay, so couple things that matters. I just want to make sure you know about this. You have to be relaxed.
It's my first time.
The investors, you want to raise $10 billion from them. They're just doing this. You agree to it. They've already done a full-blown background check on you. They just want to make sure you're just telling the truth.
Okay.
So if you're telling the truth, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Good. Is your name Vincent Oshana?
Yes.
Are you a Syrian?
Yes.
Have you ever had a speeding ticket before?
No.
Wow. Okay. Were you the Airman of the Year in the Air Force in 2000?
Yes, for Space Command, yes.
Like, what is this? The vibes are so weird, right?
All right. Is your favorite food salmon sashimi?
Yes.
It's actually a good taste.
Yeah, thank you.
I like it as well. Okay, good. This $10 million they're planning on investing into you, have you privately already thought about slowing down after you get the money?
No, I'm gonna keep driving forward and actually want to go harder.
Oof, okay. All right.
What happened?
No, I mean, this is a report I have to give to them. I can't disclose it to you, but they're gonna get it. All right, would you consider yourself someone that employees like working for?
Oh, yes, 100%.
Like favorite boss type of situation?
Favorite boss, somebody gave me a mug last year that said #1 boss.
Okay, great.
So.
Okay, all right, we have that here as well. Daily, do you scroll on Instagram and TikTok more than 4 hours a day?
No, I mean, I check Instagram, but I don't think it's
4 hours. Let me ask that question one more time, just
Okay.
kind of calm down.
I'm really sorry. This is
it's totally normal.
The homoeroticism in this is really bizarre to me. Like, there's a lot of like touching across the table. It's interesting. A lot of like feeling his wrist. This is comedy. I think it's an attempt at comedy.
I feel like I'm on trial for like murder.
It's extremely normal. Don't feel uncomfortable. We all go through it.
Okay.
They're like doing a
one
bit.
more time.
Okay.
It's very important. Do you scroll on Instagram and TikTok more than 4 hours a day?
No.
Okay. All right.
How'd I do?
If they did a lie detective test, how would you do? Would you answer good? Would you be real about the vision? Are you going to give your best? Do you get distracted? If you, watching this, want to be comfortable if a setting like this ever takes place for you, a big promotion, money being raised, any of that stuff, once a year, I host an event. It's called the Vault Conference. This year, we're expecting 12,000.
Oh my God, he's selling tickets.
This would be far more valuable entertainment if they used jumper cables instead.
He's selling tickets to like his multi-level marketing sessions. This is literally a Nathan for You skit. It really is. Holy shit.
People, we're doing it at the Orlando.
Okay, I know the year is 2025, but a name like Gaylord Palms will never not be funny to me. That will never not be funny. It will always and forever be absolutely fucking hilarious.
Gaylord, the whole hotel's being shut down for our event. If you've never attended, I suggest you come down with your business partner or your spouse.
We suggest you all come down to Gaylord, okay? We're gonna have a great time. Gonna get some Gaylord on your palms.
Get registered, get yourself a ticket. Let's spend 3.5 days together in Orlando, September 8th through the 11th. I cannot wait to see you there.
God, they're so uncreative. You know, like the opening of Valuetainment has like the bank vault opening, right? They do the literal show in a bank vault.
After this segment, we have to watch this lie detector skit.
Jazz Dog, thank you for the $5 $5 dono. Oh, we can't. This is like almost 10 minutes long, but I will link it in other channels because Chris and Jack is a good YouTube channel. I'm only a little biased because my name is Jack, but I linked it in all the chats. Man, just it's wild stuff over on the Valuetainment channel. And I say that because I went over there to see like what is like the premier brand offering Valuetainment's putting forward right these days. You know, what are they up to? Also, Kazooie, thank you for being a member of the past 4 months. Is this the fabled gaycation I've heard so much about? Yeah, it's where all the gay lords go. But I was perusing the Valuetainment channel, you know, earlier today, and you know, fun fact, they have almost 7 million subscribers on that channel. Now that's pretty impressive. What's really odd is that their uploads are getting like views in like the tens of thousands. Like this video from 2 days ago has 46,000 views, which is not a great turnout for a channel of, you know, almost 7 million. But also they put out a video recently titled "The History of Pride Month" and ties to Italian Mafia. That's right, guys. The Rainbow Mafia jokes, they're actually hitting at a hard truth. It's all so dumb. Oh, God.
Do you know the Italian Mafia gets credit indirectly for the Gay Pride Month? Did you know this? Did you know in New York City, the mob ran by Fat Tony Loria, not Salerno, the boss, Fat Tony Loria, who was connected to the Genovese family, they owned the only gay club in town. And it was dirty, it was nasty, no water, toilet, the place smelled horrible. They overcharged for drinks, they made money.
Wow, it sounds like the Mafia was really oppressing these gays. Thanks for pointing that out, Patrick Bet-David. It was the worst bar in town, but the only place people could go if they were gay? Sounds exploitative, doesn't it?
It was a form of having blackmail of people that would go to this underground gay club, because at that time, you couldn't go to a gay club. If they found out you had any kind of things, you could get a fine.
So Patrick Bet-David, you're exposing the oppression gay people have had to face in the past, right? Right? Like that's where this is going, right?
You could have a lot of different things that can happen. There was this one club that Italian Mafia decided to open up called Stonewall. That led to the current Pride Month that we're celebrating today. So
that's right. All of the gays, they're part of the family.
Thank you to the Italian Mafia for starting the Pride Month. We're going to talk about that today.
They were all gay together, okay? You were paying for protection and for classy dates.
If you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. So by the way, I want to...
I love the fucking, like, scare music and, like, the the color grading on this particular episode. It's fun. You know where are you going with this?
Show you this article written by the New York Daily News on July 6th of 69. Tell me if they can write anything like this today. You ready? Homo nest raided. Queen bees are stinging man.
You tell me if they can write anything like this today. Homo nest raided. Like, no, of course they're not gonna write that. Of course they're not gonna write that in 2025. Almost like it was 60 fucking years ago. Jeez. Homo Nest is my favorite RPG. Oh, God. Yo, Nightlight Plushie Jesus. Thank you for signing up for Run for Something to run for your city council. Let's go. We're all rooting for you. God, you can't call a gay person a fairy anymore in the newspapers. We've really degraded as a society. Jesus Christ.
Ad. Imagine if New York Times wrote that today. Okay, imagine if they, I don't even know if Babylon Bee can write that today. However, in the 50s and 60s, you got to know the climate. At that time,
Yeah, in the 50s and 60s, they would kill you for being gay. Yeah. Like, yeah, it was more acceptable to be homophobic back then.
if you were gay and you went to a bar, they couldn't serve you alcohol. If they did, they can revoke that bar's license. You just couldn't do it, period, at this time. In 1952, just to kind of tell you what it was qualified, that is like 73 years ago, not that long ago, homosexuality was listed as a sociopathic personality disturbance in DSM-1, and
Hi kids, it's Safety Duck. Remember to ask somebody you love before you put anything in your mouth. Stay safe if you know what's good for you. Quack.
Very good advice, Safety Duck. Thank you for the $5 dono. I look at how all of these gay people were oppressed. Except that I'm waiting for the twist where he's like, gayness should still be a mental disorder because we knew the truth back in the 50s. Like, I'm waiting for that twist to happen because something is telling me that this is not to shine a light on the oppression of queer people in the 50s and 60s.
just until 1973 is when the APA removed homosexuality from the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders in December of 73. That's when they did it. So imagine 50s, 60s. This is happening. The mob looks at this and says, look, we don't have a liquor license. Open this place up, underground, sell whatever kind of cheap liquor that we can make to sell these guys, overcharge it. It's going to be fine. The place is nasty, smells horrible. Things are going bad. And this place was a hotspot for drag queens, transgender youth, many of them allegedly working as prostitutes that you would read about. New York's poor and homeless. Stonewall was a cash cow for the Genovese family. They're making...
Yeah, almost like, we're talking about a group of people who were systematically, discriminated against by society, going to the one place where they could be themselves and find social acceptance and support. And given the fact that they were predominantly young and likely, if they were out as gay at the time, disowned by their families and homeless or financially struggling as a result, a lot of them would turn to sex work. A lot of them would turn to, modes of making an income out of desperation, because that's what you have to do when you're in that position, frankly. Nightlight Plushy Jesus, thank you for the 2 gifted tier 1 subs. I very much appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the show. I genuinely think that's what he's saying. Yeah, what he's saying is that in the 50s and 60s, they really knew how to treat gay people in mainstream society.
A lot of money coming in underground. Wealthy, influential, closeted men would go there. And imagine, we hear a lot of bribery stuff, Diddy, Epstein, all this stuff, but you go there and you knew this,
notice how he's associating with, poor, lower class queer people. He's trying to associate them with like Jeffrey fucking Epstein, one of the most prolific like sex traffickers of modern times. Cool.
We read stories about this through Roy Cohen, that Roy Cohen would put parties and a lot of influential people would come. They would go into the bedroom and then boom, then they get the video and then you're watching, okay, I have this on you. You better do this favor for me, pass this bill, pass this permit. There's some kind of control there as well. Now it gets out of control. This entire time they're paying the cops to bribe them. Leave us alone, leave us alone, leave us alone. All that is happening until all of a sudden, crisis breaks out.
Why was Roy Cohn there? Exactly. Great question, Uncle Gumbald. Well, Roy Cohn was just, getting all of that sweet intel for his own purposes. Definitely not attached to any kind of larger political mechanism.
At this place, everything's going good for these guys until June 28, 1969. Whether it's because, they stopped paying the bribes to the cops, or the cops are just finally sick of it, saying this is getting rowdy. People are showing up. We got to put a stop to this. They come in to want to shut this place down. So they come in. They're like, hey, what's going on over here? They bring cops to take the...
Yeah, not like it was a very common practice for cops to raid gay bars prior to that. It's not like there's a huge and lengthy history under which cops would raid gay bars repeatedly or, chase after men sitting on park benches at night, or, try and arrest people who were wearing too many items of the wrong type of clothing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
transgender or guys that are dressed as women, whatever you want to call it, into the bathroom saying, what are you?
Well, transgender people are different from guys dressed as women, Patrick. Those are two different things. You know, one is cross-dressing and one is a trans person.
Okay, this is a guy. Take him over here. Okay, this is a lady. She's fine. Whatever. They're going through this process, right? And then
I love that he isn't even talking about the fact that like it's illegal for like trans people to be out at this particular point in time. There are literal laws on the books saying like if you were born a woman, if you have a W on your birth certificate, if you're wearing pants and like a shirt made for men and like I don't know, like that like device that like a tie, we'll say, you can be arrested for that. You can be arrested as a woman for wearing pants and like a tailored shirt and tie, because that's one of the laws that was on the books at the time. But he doesn't even talk about that. He just like offhandedly is like, oh yeah, cops arresting like trans people, like say like looking through and be like, okay, you're a lady, you can go, or you're a man, you're under arrest. And he doesn't even talk about like the laws or the context of that. And imagine having no context for that and just being like, yeah, the police were arresting like the gays. Totally normal. If you don't have the context for this is anything but normal.
And all of a sudden, people getting mad, they're getting upset, they're throwing stuff at the place, rocks, 600 people show up. It's getting chaotic at this point. They're tearing the place that they go to congregate, to hang out. The only place that they have that's only 2 miles away from Studio 54, they're destroying the facility. So at this point,
well, they didn't destroy the Stonewall facility. They were throwing bricks at cops. I think that's a notably different thing.
Think about the cops. They're having bricks being thrown at them. They're like, guys, what are we going to do? They barricade themselves inside the club. So cops are inside the club now, inside Stonewall. Like the whole smelly, everything that's going on, they're inside. What do? The place they go to, they try to set the place on fire. This is where the whole thing, Pride Month, started with this. This was the beginning. Boom!
When you say they tried to set the place on fire, who are you saying? Like, even though, like, this is a scripted video, right? He's not improvising this. This was pre-written. When he's saying they set the place on fire, do you mean the cops? Do you mean the protesters? Like, who's setting the gay bar on fire? This is like drunk history. It really is.
Riots, protesting, similar to BLM protesting. Obviously, the motive was a different motive. But that's how this whole protesting got started back on June 28, 1969. So a lot of times you'll hear a name, a face being used from this whole Stonewall that, 4 a.m. this is going on, they're rioting, 600 people showing up, all this other stuff. You'll hear Malcolm Michaels Jr., aka Marsha Johnson. Your face.
Literally no one calls Marsha Johnson by that name. Like, everyone just calls her Marsha P. Johnson. Like when you're researching this, like that's how everyone refers to her, because that's her name.
Face of this, so brave. While many reports say that he was passed out down the street on heroin, doesn't show up till 2 o'clock in the morning. Protests started very early.
Back then, water wasn't invented by Jim Water, so firefighters had to beat the ever-loving shit out of the fire with their bare hands. True story.
Jazz Dog, thank you for the $5 dono. But also, like, you should maybe choose your lane here, Patrick, because you're saying, oh, Marsha Johnson was passed out down the street on heroin, but then showed up. Like, choose your story, choose your narrative, man. Like, either someone is passed out or they're not. You can't have it both ways. And if she's at the protest, then she's at the fucking protest.
But this is the face of it, right? Oh my God, no, it's not that he was on heroin. Those are the claims that they're not accurate. And then a lot of times they'll say, well, Marsha Johnson was a transgender and all this other stuff. You can go research it yourself. Marsha Johnson never called himself a transgender. He would say transvestite.
Yeah, because the term wasn't around, Patrick. You would know that if you weren't a dipshit. The word transgender was popularized in the 90s. Like, it's it was in use at the time in the 1960s, but predominantly in academia. You know, if you're talking about someone who's on the street and not in a great financial place, they're not going to use the modern terminology we use decades later. He's genuinely, guys, this is really rooted in just a lack of curiosity about subjects. Always, when people say stay curious, you know, always seek out the context, always ask more questions, always go a little bit deeper, because when you don't ask questions about a given topic, you wind up coming across like a goddamn moron.
Or a drag queen or a gay man, but he hadn't gone through the whole procedure, but they need the story. So this was going on.
Yeah, most trans people wouldn't have gone through the whole procedure in the 1950s, man, for pretty obvious reasons, especially if they were, as you said previously, very poor.
And they're rioting and they're protesting, they're turning cars over. I mean, just visualize these strong gay men turning it over. Like, that's some powerful stuff to be able to do.
Imagine the gay super soldiers turning cars around with their big muscular hands and their throbbing muscles in their leather vests. Just visualize those sweaty, hot men. Jesus Christ.
I mean, setting garbage on fire, you know, pelted of officers with bricks and other debris. All of this happening at the same time. This is an intense protesting with a lot of tough gay men and women that are there on that day. So at this point, it's crazy. The riots go till 4 o'clock in the morning. 13 people are arrested. This riots continues for 4 days, nonstop. Everyone's reporting on it. Newsweek's writing about it. Cops are telling what happened about it. Some of them don't want to admit to it. Some of them are telling what's going on. A year later, this becomes a ritual. Every year on Christopher Street, let's do this.
Hell yeah.
Protesting out there and go and do our pride, you know, they don't call it a pride event, they call it the gay rights activists that they held this once year called the Liberation Day March, okay?
Hell yeah.
Became the first ever gay pride.
You know, like, this is actually based as hell. He's just playing scary music over it.
Parade. And then obviously spreads all across the country. So now this movement continues nationwide, 70s, 80s, you got the AIDS epidemic, which roughly 89,000 people died in America. 87 to 89,000 people died in America because of AIDS worldwide.
Like, this is the type of music you'd play over like a conspiracy channel, like a Philip Zeba video, you know?
Google debunkers.
But it's just about like an actual real struggle for like gay people to have, you know, basic rights and to not be killed by a pandemic.
400,000, it's a topic of discussion. Everyone's talking about it. Then in 1999, the man had a very good friend that was very helpful to him at the office, Bill Clinton. He decides to declare June as the Gay and Lesbian Pride Month. Then a close friend of his, a man named Barack Obama, he becomes president. He decides to take it to a whole different level, and he expands the proclamation to LGBT Pride Month. And
Every year we remind them, we play catch with bricks.
Oh, Turtle Chum, thank you for the $5 dono. But also, like, the idea that people weren't celebrating Pride Month prior to Bill Clinton or Barack Obama is really bizarre, because people did and were. Like, holy shit. We've gone from the Mafia to Obama.
Added representation, of course, for bisexuals and transgenders. Then Joe Biden, the great Joe Biden, he comes in, he takes it to a whole different level in 2021. He designated
Joe Biden leveled up our gays.
It as LGBTQ plus Pride Month, further inclusion for queers and ever-expanding plus community. I mean, every time there's a liberal president, they just added new letters to it. And then by today, while you're watching,
that's pretty cool, actually. Why are you making Biden seem even cooler?
This, if you go and ask on ChatGPT or
Knifey Duck, you are 100% correct. When this man says the word queer, it feels like a slur, because I'm pretty sure he's only ever used the word queer as a slur, as opposed to, you know, gay people who, you know, they're like, we're all queers here, and that's fine, you know? Queer super soldiers keep the U.S. strong, unironically. Lauren the Kiwi Burb, thank you for the $2 New Zealand.
Google, how many days do we have dedicated to this? 125.
Wait, I'm sorry. I missed what he was doing here.
And then by today, while you're watching this, If you go and ask on ChatGPT or Google, how many days do we have dedicated to this? 125 days a year, 34% of the year is dedicated to celebrating sex and gender minorities. We even have a gay uncle day per year. If you have a
Don't you come for the gunkles? How dare you come for the gunkles? Although you were talking about sweaty men with rippling muscles, so maybe you come for the gunkles. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't judge.
uncle that's gay, you can tell him we celebrate you once a year, and you can text him, send him a nice gift.
Yeah, actually, that's genuinely really nice if you do, right? Like, who expects a gift on Gunkle Day? Also, yeah, of course, this guy is like an AI loser, and not only is he an AI loser, he's also, yes, he is anti-LGBT. That's why this entire video has like scary conspiracy music over it. It's because he's trying to make it seem like a gay conspiracy against America.
But that happens in America today. Can you imagine this kind of stuff that we're talking about? This is America to you, right? So why is this important? Think about it this way. I'm gonna give you a crazy stat here for you to think about. In 1960s, do you know what percentage of Americans had a child under the age of 18? 1960 had child under the age of 18. 44% of Americans had a kid in their house under the age of 18. Okay?
Yeah, almost like there was some kind of baby boom. Almost like there was some kind of baby boom, an explosion of babies being born. Almost like that. You know, just a gigantic explosion of population growth after World War II. Almost like that.
Okay, you know what that number is today? 24%. How do we go from 1960, 44%, to today, 24%?
Well, clearly it's all been orchestrated by the Mafia, manipulating and blackmailing the gays into dropping the birth rates of America at the behest of Bill Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama. Like that's what he's implying, right? That this has gone in a direction I did not expect. I didn't expect it. Of course.
Of course!
I am very proud of the mental horsepower you have.
Oh, God.
And then this becomes a movement that we're kind of like...
Oh, you Googled it in 1920, aka before the baby boom? The percentage was 21%? Thanks, Jazz Dog. Appreciate it.
like supporting, and then people are sitting there saying, well, Americans are not having a lot of babies. We need illegal immigrants.
This is literally just looking at the baby boom, a freak anomaly, by the way, in like our historical record of like birth rates, and saying, why can't we have just freak anomaly population growth all the time? It must be because of the gays.
Come over here because we need labor. We need workforce. Or maybe...
Jesus.
Hi chat, Safety Duck again with a reminder that if somebody you know is talking about declining birth rates, they are probably a Nazi or Nazi adjacent, and you should avoid them at all costs.
Yeah, there's like a good 90% chance, 95% chance that's the case.
We need to sit here and say, hey, listen guys, awesome, you chose to be gay. It's your private life, whatever you want to do. We don't need to say, I don't need...
Oh, thanks for supporting the gays. That's awesome. Patrick Bet David, certified ally.
to advertise what I like to do in the bedroom myself. It's none of your business. Just like whatever you want to do in your bedroom, it's none of my business. Do whatever you want to do. Go buy.
This is getting weirder the longer you talk about what other people are doing in their bedroom, man. You could have just left it at one sentence, but now you're at like 5, and that's weird. The vibes are weird.
Whatever, sex toys, man, woman, do whatever you want to do. You don't need to advertise it. That's for you. Let's give you 1 day per year. You know, we can put it on February 30th. We can give any kind of a day for you to choose. Obviously, I'm giving you a hard time. I know the map. I'm a Syrian. We came up with a lot of this stuff. But
also, like, there are a lot of months. It's fine. Like, I'm sorry. Are you like, okay, just hypothetically here, right? Like, what if we had like a cis man appreciation month? Just hypothetically, like that gets instituted tomorrow. Is Patrick Bet David going to spend the entire month partying because it's cis man appreciation month? Or is he just gonna be like, oh, all right, and like continue to live his life? Because that's what the vast majority of people do when it comes to like Pride Month or, you know, any of the other month holidays, you know? Like you go out like one time for
The
Pride.
Rainbow Mafia is led by a fairy godmother who
weekend.
makes offers you can't help but consent to and leaves unicorn head plushies in your bed.
Jesus, sorry, you're blue. Thank you for the $5 super chat. And the fairy godmother is fabulous.
You need 125 days? Seriously? And we're wondering why.
Genuinely, I want him to list every single gay holiday. Because, like, I'm aware of Pride Month and Gunkle Day, but, like, I want him to list off all of those holidays. List off all of the holidays you're talking
This guy has
about.
a dartboard and he throws darts at it to create talking points. Guy, it's grasping so hard at straws.
Almost, but yeah, Quantum Mechanic, thank you for the $5 super chat, but also, there is a non-0% chance that this guy used ChatGPT to just shit out the script for this. You know, given that he references ChatGPT in this, there's a pretty decent chance he's done that for this specifically. And, I mean, Chat PBD, damn Minty Treasure, you're good. I tried to find this out and I basically got to about 67 and that was really generous. Yeah, I want him to list them. Like, put me on the Patrick Bet David show. I want to ask him to name every single gay holiday. I want his list. Give us the insider tips. You know, just the tips, Patrick. Give us just the tips.
You know, we went from 44% to 24%. Seriously, from 44. Why don't we recognize parents? Why do we recognize moms, dads for what they're doing? Why can't we do?
Wait, we do. Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, man. do you not call your mom on Mother's Day? You've been forgetting your dad on Father's Day? You well, my God.
That. Why aren't we doing that part? What do you think would happen is for every day we put a single Father Day. Okay? We recognize fathers that don't.
There is a single Father's Day. It's called Father's Day. It's literally called that. Jesus Christ. Also, I'm just real curious here, okay? God. You know, he's really big on AI, right? So I just Googled this, the AI summary of Single Father's Day. There isn't a separate holiday called Single Father's Day. There's Father's Day is the designated day to celebrate all fathers, including single fathers, you know? And if like AI is the only language he'll understand, there you go. Also, I need to install the plugin that disables Google AI. Apparently there's one of those now, and I would like to use that.
Are not deadbeat fathers. They raise their kids. What if we put all these different things that we recognize, kids, parents, working together, nucleus family? We're not doing that.
I mean, if you're not doing it, you've really fucked up, and you should probably get your mom and dad some cards.
So of course, when you recognize these types of numbers, and then now you hear percentages that were being fed. Did you know 9.3% of the U.S.
Oh, that's exactly what happened, Nomi Sunrider. He replaced all of the holidays with holigays. So he saw Father's Day and thought it was a gay holiday to celebrate daddies, you know? Sorry, to celebrate daddies. And Mother's Day is a day to celebrate mommy.
population as of Gallup poll 2025, part of the LGBTQ community. 9.3%.
Dope.
I don't remember that. When I went to school, I went to high school, our school had 4,400 kids.
Yeah, and statistically, 10% or so of them were some kind of LGBTQ, man. They just didn't feel safe to tell you about it, because have you listened to yourself at all, ever, on this issue?
Maybe we had 5 kids that were gay. Maybe. Yes, we had a couple gay students. Yes.
Yeah, were they out? What about the other ones that weren't out, Patrick? What about the ones that weren't out?
We kind of knew who it was. 9.3%. You know what that means? You mean to tell me?
And also, you went to a school with 4,400 students, and there were only 5 people in the drama department? I'm calling bullshit on that one. I'm calling bullshit real hard on that one. I'm guessing there were more than 5 students in the drama department, and I'm guessing more than 5 gays in the school. Just, you know, throwing that out there.
440 kids were gay? Really? You think so?
Yes.
Or is this starting to convert? and advertise and get into schools and all this other stuff. Is that what happened here? Right now, you're seeing all the...
Wait, what did that string of words even mean?
Really? You think so? Or is this starting to convert and advertise and get into...
Or is this starting to convert and advertise and get into schools? What does that mean? You're holding up the poll you just referenced. What do you mean? What organization is converting and advertising and getting them into gay schools? I mean, yeah, I understand the general thrust is that, like, the gays are coming to trans your kids, but, like, I do think now that I think about it, I think he does think of, like, the LGBTQ movement. I think he said on his podcast before, he thinks of it like a religion or a cult. So maybe he thinks of it as a more unified movement. I don't know.
To schools.
Like, where are your gay churches? I need to know.
And all this other stuff. Is that what happened here? Right now, you're seeing all the numbers on funding for gay pride and Pride Month stuff that's declining, and all across San Francisco, all these other places, they used to get more money. They're not getting it anymore.
Yeah, it's almost like rainbow capitalism is fickle, because capitalism chases after, what will get them greater returns on their investments. And for a long time, that was investing into the LGBTQ movement because it made them look good. It was free PR. They could write it off on their taxes as tax-deductible donations, right? The reason they're not doing that now is because there is a government in power that will punish them for trying to court LGBTQ people. And so they've made a calculation collectively, many of these companies, that they are not going to make those donations because they don't want to invite scrutiny from the government. It's not very complicated here.
Is it because they're afraid? Or is it getting to the point that some people are saying, look, man, can we just go back to common sense? Do whatever you want to do on your personal life. It's not my business.
It's not your business, but you are against, like, a movement to ensure that people who are known to be gay can't be discriminated against.
It's not. But you came from a...
Like, you literally mentioned, like, the AIDS epidemic in this video, and, like, showed men who were dying from AIDS in the video. Because if you show any footage of, like, gay people from the 80s, there's a very good chance that a number of them died from AIDS. But you're not willing to, like, support, like, a gay rights movement? Like, you're arguing that by the 80s, like, the gays had all of their rights, even as the government left them to die excruciating deaths? Come on, man.
Man and a woman who chose to have a kid, okay? That's how that happened. We need to recognize...
Wait, what? Sorry, what? What a weird visual to throw up.
It's not. But you came...
It's not, but...
From a man and a woman who chose to have a kid, okay? That's how that happened. We need to recognize more of that. Husband and wives, families. If we do that, we have a fighting chance of bringing that number back up to us, having 2.3, 2.4, 2.5 kids.
It's literally fear-mongering, like... we're in the final act of this video, and he's finally come back around to fear-mongering about population replacement rates. It's damn. I'm really glad, by the way, I put a video out on YouTube. You guys can check it out. I talk about the replacement rate ideas that get put forward by bozos like this guy, and I think it's worth checking out. Because, yeah, the replacement rate, like we have, like, a population growth that is lower than the replacement rate, but and you can hear more of my argument in the full video. One of the reasons for that is because rapid industrialization drastically changes the social fabric of a given country. We saw this in the past. We're seeing it again now. Okay, due to, like, computers, due to AI, due to robotics. Like, we're seeing a lot of changes. And we have the change of industrialization. We're still adjusting to that, by the way. Human society moves a lot slower than our rapid pace of technological progress. And now we have to adjust to, like, a brave new frontier in the computer and digitized age with the information superhighways that still don't have speed limits. But it takes a while to adjust to that. It takes a while to adjust. And that adjustment period causes friction between different groups of people, especially when we are fundamentally changing a power dynamic, a patriarchal power dynamic that has existed for hundreds or thousands of years. And there's going to need to be like some changes in the way that men and women approach each other. And on top of that, like, capitalism's a bitch. So anyway, watch that video if you want to hear more about that from someone who isn't, from someone who doesn't suck like Patrick Bet-David.
Per versus we're down to 1.9, 1.7. And the moment you're no longer at 2.1, it starts going like this. That's kind of where we are today. So you may or may not agree with what I'm saying. This is history telling you. So guess what? If you know somebody.
Also, just throwing this out there, just because it's currently tipped down doesn't mean it's always going to stay down. Again, the classic example of this is when women as a social group in America began to do more long distance running. Running magazines were talking about how eventually, like, women were going to outpace men as runners because of the rapid rate of their, the rapid speed increases in running that they were seeing statistically. And boy, howdy, it's almost like human beings can get faster when they train, but eventually there's kind of like a limit to that, right? It's not going to go up forever. It's also not going to go down forever.
Part of the Genovese family. Call them right now. Same thank you, Uncle. If you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I did another video a couple of years ago about the dark side of the LGBTQ, who's funding it, the money, the dark money, where it's coming from. You'll enjoy watching this video. Take care.
I also did a video about how the gays are evil, and the movement to get them rights is also evil. But I don't care what you do in your bedrooms. It's totally not my business at all. But the movement to make it legal to do that was very evil. The dark gays, yeah. Where's my dark money? God. Anyway, Patrick Bet-David is a very weird little guy. Just a weird little freak. And I just have to point out that like the stuff that they put out on their channel is weird as hell. So I hope you enjoyed this trip down like what the hell is going on at Valuetainment lane, because I enjoyed it. That was weird as fuck.
I am very proud of the mental horsepower you have.
Oh God, what a weird little guy.
Riverboat deck is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, and plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.